dynasty. The throne, however, lay empty. Two families, both descendants of King Bharata, staked their claim, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. The Pandavas, 5 noble brothers, embodied virtue and strength. They were loved by the people for their courage and wisdom. Yudhishthira, the eldest, was known for his righteousness. Bhima possessed immense strength. Arjuna, a skilled archer, was considered the greatest warrior of his time. The twins, Nakula and Sahadeva, were masters of sword fighting and horsemanship. On the other side stood the Kauravas, 100 brothers driven by jealousy and ambition. Duryodhana, the eldest Kaurava, yearned for the throne and resented his Pandava cousins. This rivalry, fueled by greed and power, festered within the kingdom's heart. Hastinapur, once a symbol of unity, trembled on the precipice of a devastating war. As the Pandavas and Kauravas grew up, so did the animosity between them. Their rivalry intensified, casting a long shadow over Hastinapur. Duryodhana, consumed by his desire for the throne, plotted to eliminate the Pandavas. He saw them as obstacles in his path to power, threats to his birthright. One fateful day, Duryodhana challenged the Pandavas to a game of dice, a game he knew was rigged in his favour. Blinded by their sense of honour and duty, the Pandavas accepted the challenge. They believed in fair play, unaware of the treachery that awaited them. The dice rolled, and fate took a cruel turn. With each throw, the Pandavas lost their wealth, their kingdom, and even their freedom. Duryodhana, reveling in his victory, demanded that the Pandavas, now his slaves, be stripped of their dignity. He ordered Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, to be dragged into the court and humiliated in front of the assembly. The Kauravas laughed, their cruelty knowing no bounds. Draupadi, a woman of immense strength and spirit, was dragged into the court. Her voice, filled with both anger and dignity, echoed through the hall as she questioned the legitimacy of the game and the Kauravas' right to treat her with such disrespect. Her words, sharp as arrows, pierced the heart of the assembly. Duryodhana, blinded by his arrogance, ordered his brother Dushasana to disrobe Draupadi. As Dushasana approached her, Draupadi closed her eyes and prayed to Krishna, her protector. A miracle occurred. Dushasana, despite his relentless efforts, found himself unable to remove her sari. It seemed an endless length of fabric appeared in his hands. This divine intervention humiliated the Kauravas and exposed their wickedness. It was a turning point in the story, solidifying the righteousness of the Pandavas and the wickedness of the Kauravas. The game of dice, meant to break the Pandavas, had instead ignited a fire in their hearts, a fire that could only be quenched by justice. Humiliated and stripped of their rightful kingdom, the Pandavas were forced into exile for 13 long years. Their exile was a test, a period of immense hardship and spiritual growth. They wandered the forests, living as ascetics, their hearts burning with the injustice they had suffered. They knew that a confrontation with the Kauravas was inevitable, and they prepared themselves physically and mentally for the battle that lay ahead. After 13 years, the Pandavas returned from exile, ready to reclaim their kingdom. They approached the Kauravas, seeking a peaceful resolution. They were willing to forgive, to avoid bloodshed, but Duryodhana, blinded by his greed, refused to negotiate. War, it seemed, was the only answer. And so, the stage was set for the Kurukshetra war, a battle that would determine the fate of Hastinapur and shape the course of history. Both sides gathered their armies, warriors of unparalleled skill and valor, ready to fight and die for their beliefs. The air crackled with tension as the two sides faced each other on the battlefield. The fate of a kingdom hung in the balance. Section 5. The Mighty Karna. A warrior's journey. Among the Kaurava warriors stood Karna, a formidable archer and a tragic hero. Lord Karna. Born with a divine armor and earrings that made me invincible, I was abandoned at birth. He grew up unaware of his true lineage, yearning for acceptance and recognition. His loyalty to Duryodhana, who had befriended him and offered him a kingdom, was unwavering. Lord Karna. My story is one of loyalty, sacrifice, and the complexities of Dharma. I am a warrior bound by my oaths, torn between my friendship and my conscience. He fought valiantly for the Kauravas, knowing in his heart that they were on the wrong side of Dharma. His story is a reminder that even the most skilled warrior can be a victim of circumstance, bound by the choices they make.
Leading the Kaurava army was Dronacharya, a master archer and a revered teacher. He had trained both the Pandavas and Kauravas in the art of warfare, instilling in them the virtues of courage, discipline, and skill. However, his loyalty lay with the throne of Hastinapur, and he felt bound by his duty to fight for the Kauravas.
Dronacharya's story is a tragic one, a tale of a noble warrior torn between his duty and his conscience. He knew the Kauravas were wrong, but felt compelled to fight for them. His story highlights the complexities of war and the difficult choices it forces upon individuals.
Aswathama, the son of Dronacharya, was a fierce warrior driven by a thirst for revenge. He inherited his father's skill with weapons and his unwavering loyalty to the Kauravas. However, he also possessed a volatile temper and a tendency towards ruthlessness.
After his father's death in the war, Aswathama vowed to avenge him, even if it meant committing heinous acts. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of vengeance and the importance of choosing compassion over hatred. The Kurukshetra war raged for 18 days, a relentless clash of armies, a dance of death and destruction. Heroes rose, only to fall. Karna, despite his invincibility, met his end at the hands of Arjuna, his own brother. Dronacharya, heartbroken and disillusioned, was tricked into laying down his arms and was then mercilessly killed. Aswathama, consumed by his grief and rage, unleashed a horrific weapon that killed countless innocent people. The war finally came to an end with the death of Duryodhana, struck down by Bhima in a final act of justice. The Pandavas, though victorious, were left devastated by the immense loss of life. The battlefield stood as a stark reminder of the cost of war, a testament to the destructive power of greed, envy, and hatred. The Mahabharata war is more than just a story of a battle. It is a timeless epic, a philosophical and spiritual guide that explores the complexities of life, death, duty, and dharma. It teaches us that the battle between good and evil is not just an external one, but also an internal one, fought within each of us. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we must strive to uphold righteousness, for it is only through Dharma that we can achieve true victory. The war's legacy continues to resonate today, urging us to confront our inner demons, to choose compassion over hatred, and to strive for a world where Dharma prevails. It is a story that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope, courage, and righteousness can prevail.